Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now welcome to another Challenger Spectate, or again, technically not Challenger, Master Spectate video. So today we're watching Aatrox for a couple reasons. One, on the kind of tweet I did a few days ago saying, hey, what champions do you want? By the way, we had like over 50 replies to that tweet within like a couple hours. It was crazy. But Aatrox was a really heavily requested champion. Because the weird thing with Aatrox right now in the game, and I will say it is a bit weird because it's I don't really know. It's different to the Akali situation. That Akali, some people think is really strong, and some people think she's really weak. And generally, that's a rating difference. The weird thing about Aatrox, some people think he's the most overpowered champion in the game right now. And some people think he's in a really weak place. And I've seen both sides of the argument in high rating. It's bizarre. I personally, if you're wondering where do I land, I think he's really strong right now. If you're good at him, pretty much. And given the right opportunity. So Aatrox as a champion, he's a bruiser, but he's not the same as like a Darius or something like that. He's a squishier bruiser that is more reliant on lifesteal and healing. So his tankiness a lot of the time comes with his damage output of how much damage can he deal to then start healing a lot. With combining obviously his own healing in the kit of the champion. Conqueror, the new obviously 30% healing with Conqueror, and also his item build. You know, Death's Dance is a pretty stable, normal item for him. So really his defense is how good you are at your offense. And generally what I've seen of, not great Aatrox players, they suck at offense. They get out-traded all the time. They're taking bad trades. They're missing their Qs. They're the ones that I think are complaining the most because the champion, what really is he's not forgiving. So what we're going to watch this game is obviously an Aatrox in obviously high rating EU West. This guy himself was in the top, I think, 3 Aatrox players on EU West, which, if you go by what a lot of pros and what a lot of people say, EU West is a very good server, mainly only behind maybe Korea in terms of solo queue quality. So the actual lovely dodge there, the actual quality of this game is very high. Again, some people have even quoted that EU West is about 600 LP difference to North America. So if this is a master game on EU West, this would be equivalent of Challenger really on North America. Apparently, that's not going what I'm saying. That's what people have done when they've played on both servers. Again, me personally, I got to 108 with 180 ping. I got to Diamond 2 on North America. And meanwhile, look at the damage. The procs are coming in. And yeah, nice trade by Aatrox there. So we'll say it's a bit of a weird comp situation going on in some regards. Meanwhile, Cho'Gath might be roaming down. Nautilus on the enemy team is completely caught out. Will get himself killed. Double kill for the Kayn. So what I mean by that is, yeah, the enemy team, sorry, the Aatrox's team has got a Nautilus mid. Obviously, that has been played in competitive, but obviously, we've always said when you see a weird thing like a Nautilus mid, they're playing it for a specific reason. They've got a team comp knowing there's a Nautilus mid. Obviously, in solo queue, you do not know you've got a Nautilus mid. You're not building a team comp knowing you have a Nautilus mid. So it's a bit of a poop pick for solo queue. Furthermore, this Cho'Gath, it is looking like he's doing the GLP kind of build. It's not terrible. Again, Cho'Gath as a champion, I mean, he's okay. The best element to Cho'Gath is one of two things. One, it's his W. The AoE silence is really good. And secondly, his ultimate. He's a very slow champion. It's kind of easy to predict what he's going to do. Like, you very rarely get surprised by a Cho'Gath. You know what's going to happen in what order pretty much most of the time. So, trading at the moment slightly is going in Cho'Gath's advantage, but you'd kind of expect that because he's been back already. The Aatrox hasn't. Now, what is seemed to be the pattern here, by the way, meanwhile, nice combo. Cho'Gath going to go for the kill as much as he can, but then backs out of it instantly. Meanwhile, Cho'Gath engaging, misses his Q. So as long as Aatrox dodges like the initial Q, I don't think this is going to go bad for Aatrox. Lovely combo. Does get silenced, but does finish off the kill. Does flash, which I do not think he needed to do. I think he would have just survived. Though Kayn now is here, which again, if he didn't flash, the initial, he then might have been able to flash away from the Kayn. So he's probably dead at this stage. Very much doubt he'll get away. Kayn doesn't have any flash to chase him, but it's like, again, remember, Aatrox is... Look! Boom, baby! What did we say earlier, everybody? Aatrox's defense, and remember, I haven't watched this video yet. I'm watching it with you guys. Aatrox's defense is his offense. So the Aatroxes that are playing Wimpy, they're going to suck right now because the strength of the champion, especially with the new Conqueror that gives healing rather than true damage, is about proccing the Conqueror and doing as much damage as possible to heal as much as possible. That's what you're watching there. Even I thought that Aatrox was dead, probably. Even you watching probably thought he was dead. He just goes all in and just goes wham bam, thank you ma'am. I now have double buffs and I survived a pretty weird situation. So that's really cool. Wow. Very aggressive ultimate. Again, going aggressive here because he knows Cho'Gath has no escape. And but look at that. Look at the damage. No one can tell me this champion is weak right now. He's nuts. He's like absolutely insane. In the hands of a good player, he's insanely strong. But what I will say is he's the type of champion as well. The defense to it is when you're having a bad game with Aatrox, yeah, he sucks. But that's just the type of champion he is. It's like a Riven. Riven sucks when she's having a bad game too. Aatrox has now become that type of champion. So when you're having a great game, you'll snowball, you'll kill everything, you'll heal, you'll survive. When you're having a bad game, well, because you're not... It's the general concept. Aatrox is, like we said, his defense is now his offense. So if you're having a bad game, that means you're doing no damage. Therefore, you're doing no damage, and also your defense is gone because his defense is his offense. So that's why Aatrox does suck when he's having a bad game. Do I think that's necessarily a bad thing? No. There are some champions in League that's just the way that they are. Nice combo there. Nearly got even more damage off. 2-level advantage right now for the Aatrox. And this, again, welcome to top lane in preseason and most likely most of Season 10, by the way. If nothing gets done, this is top lane. You'll have one top laner probably dominating the lane because usually it's very rare actually for lanes to go completely even in a 1v1. Generally, one player will start doing better than the other. And because there's no jungle impact, that one player will most likely just continue snowballing the lane because there's no jungler coming to help or whatever. You know, in this actual matchup, the 1v1, what would I say scales better? The Aatrox 100% scales better than an AP Cho'Gath. Like, there's not even a contest here. So, yeah, like, if the enemy Kayn, which, by the way, he has come obviously top lane once this game, but it went bad for him. If nothing gets done soon, I can see this Aatrox just completely, like, you can't stop him. So, yeah. And, by the way, that isn't just a Aatrox thing. That's a top lane thing. If this is the same thing, if a Darius gets this situation in the early game, if probably a Set when he comes out will be the same, Renekton is the same, Riven, Fiora, all of them are like this because it's more of an island now. So when you snowball the 1v1, you just keep going. Obviously, scaling will be a thing and be involved in that. So if you are playing something like a Fiora that is really good scaling, then maybe you'll overtake your lane opponent eventually. Or if you're playing Kayle, then obviously you'll scale really well. Or Jax, you'll scale really well into the late game. But obviously that's going to take quite a while to scale. Alright, so Cho'Gath going back. Again, still a 2-level advantage right now in top lane. Cho'Gath does not have teleport, by the way. So push this as quick as you can as the Aatrox. Get it into the tower. One, you can do some tower damage, but it's more about denying the Cho'Gaths from some gold. Again, good farming going on, actually hitting most of it. So he's going to go for some tower plate damage. He might get one plate here. Now, the big question is, will that cannon die before Cho'Gath gets back to lane? Because obviously denying cannons is also a really big thing. Kayn actually coming top lane. Nice play there by Aatrox so far. They are potentially going to go for the all-in. Aatrox is having none of it. He's just wanting to fight. You can see Cho'Gath, maybe a bit annoyed at this state of the game, is wanting to fight. Lee Sin gets a kill. Again, this is quite rare to see the jungle people come top lane. But it was a 2v2. Backfires completely on blue team. Meanwhile, in the map, the enemy bot lane is looking to do quite well against the red bot lane. And yeah, both of the Aatrox's bot lane do get themselves killed. So advantage to blue team down there. Gold-wise, there is a roughly 2,000 gold lead for red team, which I presume most of it is going to be top lane. Meanwhile, Cho'Gath teleports straight back to lane, and I can see him dying here. Oh boy, poor buddy. Again, Lee Sin should follow that cue, and there you go. So yeah, so this is one of two things. It's highlighting that Aatrox as a pick is good if you're good at him and you're snowballing. He's great. But also, some people may say, oh, this is only happening because he's against an AP Cho'Gath. I grant you, yeah, like AP Cho'Gath obviously isn't a strong pick, so there is probably part to that. But that, you know, I have seen some people completely paint the picture that Aatrox is literally worthless right now, which that is just not. It's not the case. Snowball him, get him ahead early in gold, get that lead going, and he's great. He's really good. So item build, probably a Black Cleaver first, I'd imagine. Yep, there it is. And then probably a Death's Dance second item, most likely. Yep, well, I presume it will be due to the Warhammer. So far, so good. Again, Nautilus in mid lane is actually not doing completely terrible right now. So if some people, by the way, were to ask, you know, let's put me in the shoes of this Cho'Gath player, what would I be doing? Yeah, not building any more AP. Let's be honest, like, I think continuing an AP build in this situation for this Cho'Gath is practically inting. He should definitely transition into going tank. 100%. Yes, he's obviously gone the wrong rune for going tank, but it's not that big of a deal. Now, Aatrox trying his best to get to the Cho'Gath is going to go for a flash play. Cho'Gath is literally just going to get one shot. Crazy. So yeah, hopefully we do see some more armor for the Cho'Gath to try and survive the 1v1. But the cool thing about Aatrox, you can see, is that his engages start really early on. You know, you know when an Aatrox is engaging on you because he ults and then he runs at you. But he's really good at doing it, you know, really strong that you can't really get away from them, especially if you're playing a champion like a Cho'Gath with no mobility. But that's the same, you know, Darius has no mobility either. If that Aatrox gets that snowball potential on you, you can't get away from him. It's really difficult to get away from him because one, he's got his CC Qs. Secondly, he's got his movement speed. He's got his dash. But also the W, the chain. It's really irritating. Like, you just can't get away from this champ. But this guy is playing it very cleanly. Again, as we said, he is one of the best Aatrox players on EU West. And I think that's showing that his mechanics are pretty on point. He's not really missing anything significant. Combos are generally quite clean, and you know, you don't have to hit every single combo. We've said that for ages. I think, you know, people have a weird expectation. Meanwhile, Cassiopeia walking into the Aatrox, lovely combo and one-shots her. Yep, okay then. Put it this way, a Darius who is like this fed, I don't even think would one-shot somebody that quick. And, you know, people very much rate Darius as a stronger version of Aatrox right now. There's no way a Darius is killing people that quick, even with the same items. So yeah, like, Aatrox as a champion, I think, is in a great position. Do I think he needs any type of changes? It depends what Riot wants to do with him. If Riot wants him to be a kind of snowballing top laner, which is what I'd kind of call him right now, then no, I don't think they need to do anything to him. Keep him as a snowballing top laner, that if you get fed, your snowball go crazy. If you get behind, you won't have a great game. You can keep him like that if you want to. Or if you don't want him to have that play style, then increases scaling and decreases base damage. That's all you've got to do. And then you'll have a healthier champion for mid to late game. So that's probably what they should look to do. But, you know, Riot have probably got all the data they'd ever need to know all that stuff. All right, so enemy team is roaming up. Kai'Sa, Kayn, and Alistar. He's ulting for the movement speed, trying to get away. Kayn is going to make, you know, get to there. Damage coming through. Alistar goes for an ultimate. Center ult coming through to help him out. Going to go for a big wombo Q. Lee Sin's in the area. Going to try and help out too. Kayn now is stuck with the Aatrox. Boom, gets a kill. Don't know if this is on right now. He does get W'd away by the Alistar, but he's probably going to die if he gets chain CC'd. Cho'Gath misses, gets a double kill. Fight continuing. Damage needs to be continuing right now. Is it enough to kill the Cho'Gath? Cho'Gath really low. So is the Aatrox. Triple kill for the Aatrox in a 4v2 situation, practically. That might even be in a 5v2, maybe. I don't know. Lee Sin does go down, but worth it in the end. Very strong. Really nice performance, actually, by Aatrox there. And that's the point. He had to play aggressive there. Otherwise, he probably would have died. Like, you either, obviously, run away and survive, or his defense was, I need to damage everything as much as I can so I heal and survive. And now even that is more point, you know, with Death's Dance. So he's got Conqueror when it procs the healing. He's now got Death's Dance, obviously. And, you know, if we add up all the healing of this champion, so you've got Conqueror, obviously his rune. which, can we hover over Conqueror? So Conqueror right now, when fully stacked, you heal for 15% of the... Oh yeah, remember, well, did it get nerfed? But you heal for 15% of the damage you deal to champion. So there's 15% healing. Then somewhere on him is passive. Aatrox heals for 27.5% of damage he deals to champions. So add the 15% from Conqueror to the 27.5% from his passive on his E. Then you add Death's Dance. You heal for 50% of damage done. So this champion heals for roughly 50 to 60% of his damage. He's healing back of the damage he deals. So if he does 1,000 damage in a combo, he heals 500 instantly from that combo. That's insane! Like, legit insane! Obviously, he's probably going to go down here. Does go down. What is the counter to this champion? Obviously CC. Obviously, again, we've said it time and time again. We said it in the Cat Arena episode. Every champion is counted by CC, but some champions have a higher priority on what, who's going to CC them. If you look at the enemy team, you look at these 5 champions, which one do we need to make sure is CC'd instantly the most, chain our CCs together? It's Aatrox. 100%. He's a CC priority target, because if you let him continue dealing damage, he then heals more, he then, he becomes unstoppable. So Lee Sin having a nice deal with Cassiopeia. Here we go. Nautilus versus Cho'Gath, both AP builds. Again, the Nautilus has continued a somewhat AP build, by the way. Wow, Nautilus going in, baby. Will he get it? Nearly. Yes, he does. God damn it, dude. Gets a double kill. Obviously, both of them were really low health to begin with, but there we go. Lovely to see. Aatrox now continuing in mid lane with his Tristana, with his Senna, who haven't had the best game. They've had an okay game, but they, I think, did kind of lose bot lane. The Alistar on the enemy team as well, having a great game. 304. Obviously, unfortunately, though, you pretty much can't carry as a tank in current meta. Well, really, you haven't been able to do that in years. Not a higher rating anyway. So, yeah, Alistar won't be able to carry the game, even though if he plays really well. Tower should go down. Oh, God, someone commit to it. It is dead. Aatrox going to try and survive. Does back himself out. Let's watch the fight, because he's out of it right now. Tristana nearly getting a kill. Not yet, though. Aatrox doesn't have teleport, so it's not like he can go back to TP. So he's probably going to head up to top lane, maybe, or go do a jungle camp to try and heal as much as he can. Again, should be relatively quick healing, to get back into a fight. All right, what is happening now? So the base is open. Inhibitor is potentially on. Hell, Baron... Well, actually, no, it's 17.5 minutes. Never mind. This game has actually gone really quick. Nautilus overextending at low health. Probably will die. Oh, maybe not, because the enemy team... Oh, the W does land. Will Kai'Sa go for the ultimate? No, because she doesn't have ultimate. Aatrox now coming down. Nautilus surviving. Cassiopeia overextending. Lee Sin with the Aatrox. Cassiopeia ultimate. Lee Sin did look to want to give that to the Aatrox, but decided to take it in the end. Lee Sin going for it. Does do a nice, actually, combo there. Really clean Lee Sin play. Kayn now continuing as much as he can. Probably not going to do enough damage to kill the Lee Sin. And there we go. Aatrox gets a kill, which obviously gives his ultimate a refresh. And now he'll head into the enemy base. I would most likely, if this was me, ignore what's going on here. Just go kill the first inhibitor. But they're not doing that. They are looking to open up the base even more. I'd look to get the first inhibitor to make it easier for your next time in the enemy base, practically, if you're wondering. But I also can see why they want bot inhib. Bot inhib is more important, arguably, than mid inhib, because bot inhib gives you a lot more pressure for Baron. Cho'Gath getting low. Lee Sin actually not going for it because he's deciding that the inhib is potentially more important. Aatrox now on the back foot is maybe going to die. Let's see what happens here. Never mind. Him and Senna just killed the kill. Aatrox pretty low. Lee Sin now dying in the end. Aatrox with healing. Will he survive? Look at the healing happening. Wow, he survived. You could literally see his health bar like kind of ticking up and down with the damage and the passive kicking in. Senna now doing actually a bunch of damage. Cho'Gath trying his best to get the kill. Does get it in the end. But that will be an ace. That might even be the game. They will get the bottom inhib. Aatrox now moving on to the base towers. So, holy moly, dude. I'm not sure if the game ends right now. But so far, he is 10-1-8. So again, not even taking all the kills, having a lot of assists too. He's been involved in 18 kills this game out of 29. For top lane, that is really good. Okay, so yeah, the game doesn't end, so I guess, well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they could have ended, because obviously it's 19 minutes into the game, so the respawn timers are practically nothing. So as they were probably going to kill the Nexus, the enemy team would have respawned and maybe stopped them, killed them, and who knows, hey, let's go do Baron and turn the game. So they don't want to risk that. Item build, by the way, for Aatrox, I actually do not know what his next item would be. You know, the core items of Aatrox are those first two. He's already got them. So it'd be interesting to see how much gold do you have. He has got 2.6 thousand gold. So if we do see him go back another time, we should have a pretty good idea. Cassiopeia, man, walking in nowhere. Does get ulti, does the Aatrox, doing a bit of damage. Cho'Gath over here and helping. Obviously now has completed his frozen item, but again, not the build that I would have done after already being pretty weak in lane. But obviously this player, I will say as a stereotype, lovely Lee Sin Q there. As a stereotype, the only people that generally play AP Cho'Gath are AP Cho'Gath mains. So he probably is like, nope, this is what I play. I'm only playing AP Cho'Gath no matter what. I could be feeding like crazy. I'm still playing AP Cho'Gath. So yeah, again, adjust to the game that you're in is what my biggest, like part of my biggest advice for climbing is. Don't do a crazy hyper aggressive build every game if you're having a bad game. Do it on games that you're doing well. But there we go. That will be the game. That was Aatrox 11-1-9. Really good, solid performance. Crazy high damage. And yes, I can confirm he did do the most damage in the game by, I think, about double. Does get another kill. 12-1-9 now. But yeah, Aatrox to me, it's weird. He's a very divisive champion. Some people think he's weak. Some people think he's strong. I think he's strong. Even, you know, recently I've seen some performances on him, and he's good. Again, it could be, and I will say, without, you know, I think a lot of people know who everyone knows who thinks Aatrox is weak. He's from North America, and, you know, he's not the only one, by the way. It could be a regional thing. It's weird, because Riot have even said the only region that has a problem with Riven is North America. Maybe it's the same thing with Aatrox. Maybe North Americans weirdly think he's weak and everybody else thinks he's pretty good. I don't know. Let me know what you think, though, in the comments. I'd be interested to know. But that was Aatrox. Really solid performance. Great combos. Great mechanics that this player have. And yeah, this was in high rating on EU West. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, throw a like on it. Throw a subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.